Okay, so today we are going to draw the chisel in AutoCAD 2022. Okay, so a few things to note about this. One is in this isometric view, there's no sharp edge, there's no sharp corner on this side. So that means that this is one flat continuous surface, what we're viewing here. So that's essentially what we're going to draw first. And we'll have to throw in some hidden lines and things like that in the, what we would call the front view. And then we'll do kind of a side view that shows the taper of it. And then we're going to do an end view. So let's start by structuring our front view. One of the best ways to do this is to draw essentially kind of like a skeleton, where we are just identifying all of these widths, or the heights in this case, at whatever the distance is from the left. So we kind of start from the left, work our way down, and we identify where these 2 points are at the 3/4 inch height, and then our 5/16 height here, and then our final merge point here at the end. And then our total width here is going to be 4.5 inches. So let's start by, I'm going to switch to a construction layer here. Just draw a 4.5 inch long line. Actually, better yet, rather than 4.5, let's do a 2.5, and then another 2 inches after that. So breaking that up actually gives us a nice anchor point to put a 3/4 inch line at. So as I mentioned, really we're just kind of starting off with a skeleton. So our width here, it says we're 1/2 inch square. So our height in that case is going to be 1/2 inch as well. And then we need a line that's 3/4 inch tall. So we're just kind of pre-drawing these lines out. We need one that's 5/16 as well. Okay, so we've got these 3 lines. So this is our 1/2 inch line. We're going to grab that by the middle, and we're just going to put that right here on the end. Our 3/4 inch line, we're going to find the end of our 2.5 inch line right there. And then our 5/16 line is 1/4 inch back from here. So what I actually prefer to do is just put the 5/16 at the end, and we can offset it 1/4 inch back to the left. And we can just leave this here or not, it doesn't really matter. And now let's go in with our object line, and we'll just start drawing in, again, just a basic outline of what we're drawing here. It doesn't have to be fully fleshed out as we go. We're going to draw in this, and we'll come to the point here. Point, and we'll just come right back. And again, we could be mirroring all this to save us some time potentially. But I don't know that it necessarily saves us time. And then we'll replace this end line with a straight line there. Now we need to put in our curve, which is the hardest part for everybody. So our radius there is 3/4 inch, and it's tangent to the main shaft of the chisel here. And then we're eventually going to need to put in the bump for the back radius, but we can't figure that out until we have our other view. So let's do our 3/4 inch radius here. So the way I like to do that is to start with a circle, draw it at 3/4 inch, and then we will move it straight down onto our edge. And we could just draw a line temporarily from where it's got to touch straight over. And again, making sure that line is nice and horizontal is important. We'll click move. We're going to move our circle over into place here. And then we can delete that, and we will just come in with trim and remove what we don't need of our circle. And we could mirror that, or we could do the same process over. I'm going to do it over just so you guys can see that process twice. So again, 3/4 inch. Oop. Yep, 3/4 inch. I'm mistyping here. And again, we'll move the circle to the shaft of the chisel so that we know that it's tangent to it. And then we will draw a line over from our connection point. Again, straight over is really important. And we'll use our move tool to slide that into place. Right there. Then we can delete that and trim away our line and the rest of our circle. Okay. This view is just about done. We'll have to come back to it in a minute to add the little, there's like a little rectangle sliver that's going to go there. I'm actually just going to bring this over, turning this into a center line really quick. We'll switch that to a center line. Okay, so there is our, essentially what's our front view here showing the whole shape. The only thing we're missing, actually, we'll worry about that later. But we are missing some hidden lines in this view, so we're going to come back to this view after. So the next thing we want to do is, use our construction layer to just project things up vertically, because we're going to do this kind of right side view thing here. And bring that up. And we'll bring our endpoint up. And like I mentioned, this is all one continuous flat surface along this edge. So the kind of a good starting point here is to sort of draw one straight line all the way down and then come up our height here, which is, it's a little bit hard to see, but it's 1/4 of an inch right here. And then we can start working our way up and over to our eventual 1/2 inch height. That'll make sense in a second here. So, object line, start drawing. Again, really wherever, it doesn't matter. This end is 1/4 of an inch tall and straight across. Okay, and then we're going to offset our bottom line up 1/2 inch because this tapers from here to here. And then we can just really remove this essentially. And then we're going to put a line here temporarily, although there's actually, we're going to add on a little bit as well. And then we have a visible sharp edge here. And because of this corner, we have a visible sharp edge here as well. And hopefully this starts to look like something now. And now we've got to put that radius on the back end. So we've got a 5/8 inch diameter radius in this view. Again, that's going to go here. We need it centered up, so we're just going to draw a line straight out from the midpoint here. And then we'll draw our 5/8 inch radius here. Circle. And then we can bring another line out. And again, you could do this in construction. In fact, I'm just going to change these really fast, just that way it's a little less confusing. And we'll just use the move tool, select our circle, and we'll grab this and bring that over. Delete these, and then trim. 1, 2, and 3. And then we can actually get rid of this line too. So that's our kind of our top view. And then what we want to do is project this down here. And we can extend these lines out. We can come in with our trim tool again. Okay. And then we also need, up here, we need a hidden line for this angle, and we need a hidden line for this angle. Again, these, what essentially amounts to a sharp corner, although I know it doesn't look like it because of the shell angle, but because it's ground off sharp and there isn't a radius there, there is a sharp corner. So let's draw in our hidden line here. We'll do another one right here as well. Now this one doesn't have a dash, so we definitely need to lower the line type scale on it. I think 0.3 should work nicely for that. Let's try something. Let's try that 0.2. 0.2 looks good. Okay. All right, so there is our front and top view. So our side view is going to be like an end. Almost as if it's pointing at you like someone's throwing a dart at you. So let's get our construction line going here. This is also another opportunity where the reflection technique that I've shown in previous drawings really helps. There's a lot of lines we're going to project over here, and it's going to look complicated, but it's not too bad. I'm going to ignore the half-inch area for now. Those are going to be hidden lines anyway, so we'll add them kind of after the fact. And we're just going to draw the bottom over and then sort of randomly draw straight down. We'll draw a line at 45 degrees, and then we'll bring the back side over here and straight down. We'll bring this midpoint here and straight down as well. So our view essentially exists right inside of that rectangle, and what I'm going to do is just draw over top of it with our object lines just to get everything highlighted here. Now again, we want to picture that this is, kind of pointing at us, so we have this sort of flat arrowhead point, for lack of a better term. So it's got two flats on it, and then the top is also flat. So let's draw that in. We have our middle edge here. That's going to go in there. I'm going to delete some lines. Okay. Now, we need to start picturing surfaces here. So on this top, we have this weird kind of tapered surface. That's going to come out to our 3/4 inch from our 5/16 wide area here. So that means we need a visible line that's going to go diagonally up to this corner. And same thing here. In fact, we can now get rid of all of our construction lines at this point. So that's all of our visible lines, and then we need hidden lines to show the handle or the shaft or the shank end, depending upon what you want to call it. Few ways to do that. I find just kind of bringing the hidden line straight up and over to be the best way to do it. So again, sort of from there, straight up and over. Then we can just come in with our trim tool, remove what we don't need, and then just delete these two out of our drawing. And there we have our chisel.